Voice note to my viewers. You might find myself little repetitive about talking everything that happened in the past 4 months in 2024 when I was doing all the Lotto Day longboard stages 1 to 4, the virtual races. The idea is to let people have a recap of what happened in these 4 months and also to let my viewers understand few terminologies and things that people do when they were trying to do a marathon or a long distance something like I did. So hence you might find few things repetitive. Kindly forgive me, and then this is only in a good intention. Thank you. Hi, 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 hi. Hope you can hear me. This is Krishnan Srinivasan, a fine art photographer, a distance skater, and a small time freelance skater who does bicycling and walking as my cross training process to long distance skating has come to meet you guys. Okay, so this is second day of my recovery. Okay, so on Friday, which is 13th of September 2024, I happened to hit the roads to do my LTDL 2024. So what is the date today? Today is 15th, Onam. So wishes to everyone. Okay, so on 13th of September 2024, morning 6 a.m. I started doing the LTDL 2024 Stage 4, which is about 42.2 kilometers. Okay, so this September 13th thing, like it did not happen now. Okay, it's been happening for a quite long time. So how the entire story is, okay, that's what you're going to be hearing here. Okay, and by the end of this video I will share my recovery plan and how I am doing it. Okay, so since I did my LTDL 2023, okay, you know all the whole story, right? How I did it and all that, and how much accolades I got from the distance skating community, and how much everyone was, appreciating my very little minuscule efforts and all that, So, beyond all those things, uh, I was working on my back to do my LTDL uh, for year 2024 better. Okay, so how did I work on that? So I need to have a proper GPS device. I never had a GPS device with me. I was tracking it with my phone. It's a little bit of risky business because, like, if your mobile phone, mine is Xiaomi Poco F1, and living in a tropical land like India, especially here in my place, temperatures could easily hit up to 38 or 39 degrees at this time of the month. Especially last year, 2023, I did it in July, uh, second week or so. So I could here easily hit 38 degrees or 39 degrees. I'm talking about Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Okay, so that is pretty risky. What I did was pretty risky. I'm glad that my phone survived, and the Strava app, which I started for tracking my data for marathon, did not die in between because of overheat. Mobile did overheat in between, and I was able to track it as one particular workout, and I was able to submit it. And Skate IDSA gladly saw it and find it to be genuine and accepted it. So all this were good, but I've been like I don't want to take that risk in 2024. So first, I started planning and doing many micro investments. It started with my bicycle computer ZOS G. Okay, it cost me around 5,000 to 6,000 Indian rupees, and I invested on that. And that bicycle computer is the only possible GPS device I can get in that budget at that time of the year. And that bicycle computer, was useful for tracking my GPS activity during my walking sessions, during my walking or running sessions, or during my bicycling, especially. And it's been useful more on my long distance skating as well. So it's more like a GPS watch thing, but the basic thing which doesn't have and plus sensors. It can it cannot accept external cadence or speed or heart rate sensors or power meter sensors. It can't take that. it's just a basic GPS unit. It can read your distance, it can read your speed, it can understand your elevation, it can understand your temperature for that particular day. Okay, so with the speed it can give you average and maximum. With the distance, probably it may or may not give you the speed data depending upon the site you are uploading. Okay, so all these data I'll get from the speed, of course, average and max I told you, right? So, and what else I can get, we'll see that later. Okay, so if you want to check like what else I can get, I have my mobile phone here with my Let's View app. Oh, it's not working. It's ASD, but it got frozen because like it lost the internet connectivity here. Okay, it may not be able to show what I'm showing you here on the screen, is it? Yeah, it's not updating, so that app is not of much use for us now. So I'll find a new way. Hold on to things. I'll turn off my mobile data hotspot and all those things, and all I have to do is go and activate terminal. Okay, and connect the right cable to my phone, and give file transfer and start. No, we don't need to transfer actual files now. Okay, and start screen copy software. So once screen copy is done, it's probably is going to bring my mobile screen in front of you. Okay, so where were we were talking about ZOSG data, right? I don't know if it would open or if it would need some internet connection to show my previous data. Let's wait. If it can bring, that will be great. If not, it's if not. Okay, so yeah, I think you need an internet connection to bring that. I don't have internet connection today, forgive me. It's because some sort of confusions with the inverter, and it overshot some current, and we lost the power adapter from a modem. We are waiting to replace it soon. Okay, so where we are heading here today is we're talking about ZOSG, right? I'll pull up the data if ZOSG thing is there on my Strava data. I might have uploaded it to Strava yesterday. So all we have is the uploads that I have done yesterday. So with the ZOSG, average and max speed, elevation gain, elevation loss, yeah, that's one additional data I can get. Total number of calories I burnt and duration of my workout. Okay, so those are the things I'll get. Okay, so that's bicycle computers immersion for the very first time. Then I got myself a shoe, which everybody does. I don't want to brag about it. Everybody does that, and I got two of them, one for bicycling and one for walking and my long distance skating. So I pushed my old shoe from long distance skating to walking and all that. Then I started investing micro investments on electrolytes. Before itself, I've been started learning about gels, bicycle gels and everything. And Adam Arnold's advice of using 40 grams of gels for every 1 hour was really helpful and all that. And then I started working about electrolytes, and then I saved for buying a Redmi Watch 3 active watch, okay, which kind of tracked my heart rates, so that I would know I stay in zone 2 and zone 3, not put myself too much doing zone 4 and zone 5, which is the maximum zone for anybody to do a workout. And if I do that for a quite long time, I might have a fatigue in my body, or if I do it even more, or if I push myself too much, I might collapse. Okay, so I didn't want to do that, so I got my Redmi Watch 3 active. And there are many other micro investments, like a water bottle, if I had to have a bulb on the way to if I need to find my way through the ride. There are many things actually. Yeah, I did invest on a lot of things. Rewire, clean most of the old stuff. New bearings for my long distance skateboards, new hardwares. And all that. I bought some grip tapes, but I couldn't use them on my Uhuru. But I got some, like anti-sink plates for my longboard. I was able to apply that, but I couldn't use that board for my LTDL 2024 Stage 4 and all that. It was quite a lot of planning, quite a lot of work went into it. And I wouldn't say like I'm going to take all the credit for myself. I would say like I put a word to my father by May or so when I was doing May warm up challenge, and I told that's the time when I actually stumbled upon pivot cup issues. My pivot cup all got chewed up, and all my trucks were losing its pivot cup because like since I bought the board, like I never changed them. And pivot cups here in India are naturally a little expensive. Most like it cost you about a pair cost you about $500, which is $10 in East and €10 in the Europe. I mean $10 in the West and €10 in the Europe. Okay, Riptide and stuff like that. Riptide and stuff like that cost about around $3,000 in India, 2,000 to $3,000 in India with taxes and all that. But through Amazon, if you buy it through Amazon, it's all well paid, and they will take care of everything. So it's a pretty expensive thing, and so all these things are there. So I don't know, I can't afford that much, and I can't put Riptide bushings as well. So I use skateboard bushings on my long distance skateboard. I mean long distance or a longboard. Longboards have tall cones and tall barrels. So I buy it from Piezo skateboards. So and then got some sunmat sunscreen and all that. So it was I got some new caps which I couldn't use it because of headwinds. So there were many micro investments have gone into long distance skating, doing the La Today Longboard 2024. So all this came to help for my first three stages, as in like I was able to do well, and it's only because of Christopher Guillemet's initial sparking idea of advising me to use some bicycle tubes as a pivot cup temporary fix. So I ended up creating, pivot cups with bicycle tires, and which worked well since I had some sort of Fevikwik glue which can glue the rubbers pretty strong and well. So that worked awesome for May warm-up challenge, and I continue to use. So I still have many pivot cups to be made out of bicycle tires, and it works well. Trust me on that. So I did my May warm-up challenge. Name appeared on the wall. I'm so happy for completing 100 kilometers and all that. Started doing LTDL stage 1, 2, and 3. Successfully completed it. And during stage 1, 2, and 3, I kind of lowered on my energy levels. So as in like through the distance and all that, I've discussed this before. So all these things were in the understanding of my body, my how I can push, how much is my limit, what should I do to recover thing, how I can grow my distance and all that. It was planned and it was done like that. So in stage 1 we did about 10 kilometers, right? So and I did that. In stage 2 for the entire month did 4 attempts, and I submitted one of those. And in stage 2 I documented all those things. And in stage 2 it's about 1 hour ride. I came down from 10 kilometers to 8.9 in that time. That's all I could do. And then in stage 3 2.5 kilometers in 15 minutes. So my for 3 months I've been growing growing less in the distance that I cover, but my intensity was higher, so I was able to push to anaerobic or VO to max a little bit. Okay, so now LTD is on September, so this was happening till August, right? So then my father was agreeing to it by May itself. We'll see what we can do. I'll let you know by September and all that. So for before before my father gives a date that we can go on this particular day on some place where we can find a good proper road for doing all these things, and before everything gets finalized I have to build my stamina back. So what I did was like, I stopped my 2.5 kilometers or fourth attempt. After fourth attempt of like LTDL stage 3, I stopped doing that, submitted the results, and from the 5th week of August, I started building my stamina. I was riding only in zone 2 and zone 3. I was trying to ride in zone 2 and zone 3. And from 5th week, I started doing 6.5 kilometers. Then I pushed myself to, like around 8 to 9 or 10 kilometers, and then I pushed myself to 8 kilometers, actually 8 to 9 kilometers, and then I pushed myself to 12.5 kilometers, and continuously did so for next 3 times. And these workouts really gave me an idea, like when I'm pushing myself to zone 3 to zone 4, but it never gave me an idea as in like how I am moving or transitioning between zone 3 and zone 4. I never realized that. Okay, even after setting the higher heart rate limit, I never realized that. And mostly it happened only in uphills. That much I can find out, but I couldn't realize by body and listening to my body and all that. I never knew. Okay, so that was the state. But when my father gave me the date, like it's going to be on 12th or 13th, which one you want to choose? So I told 13th. Why don't I, try one more day on Wednesday for, pushing my stamina more. And then I'll prepare myself and go on Friday for, the LTDL stage 4. That's how things happen. And what I did was, in the meantime, I ordered all the gels in the 2 months. Okay, I got to save for all these things. So all these micro investments involved. So I got 10 gels, 5 from a Muzzle Blaze and 5 from Fasten Up. And I got some bread the day before on Thursday, which is 12th of September, with the help of my father again. He need to put some, like fuel or gas to his car, so that he can trail me for the entire time I complete the marathon. And then my mom has to help him prepare some food for the entire ride time. Okay, and we went for a recce in between as well in August, somewhere August 8th or 10th, or when August 18th or 19th, whenever Wendborn 250 was happening. My father and myself went to see a recce, look for the route. You might have seen all those videos. So we finalized on the road, though there were many, many flyovers and so much uphills and downhills. I thought like pushing on a service road beside the flyover, I thought like it'll be convenient. Sun is going to be hard on me. That much I thought. I wasn't sure about headwinds because like we wouldn't know what it will be after 1 month by August. So I let that be, and told my father, okay, let's go. Let's finalize this route. We'll do this. Okay. So that's all been finalized. And on Thursday, I was preparing for everything. You saw those videos. I got everything that I needed in place. And what I was trying to say is like, my father and mother have been very cooperative about all these efforts. So on exactly on Friday morning, we were about to go hit the roads. Okay, before 2-3 days prior, this is what I asked ChatGPT, saying that I'm planning to do this 2-day longboard stage for starting at 6 a.m. IST. Okay, and I'm going to have an electrolyte, a sandwich, and I'm going to do 10 kilometers and take a small break, have the electrolyte gel with caffeine, and at 15 kilometers have an electrolyte. I'll be having water whenever needed, but limited to 750 ml per 10 kilometers. Okay, and then I'll do 21.25 kilometers as a midpoint distance, and then I'll have have another gel sandwich and whatever, and change my clothes and everything, clean myself a little bit, and I'll do the same for 25 kilometers and 30th kilometer. But after 30th kilometer, I'm planning to repeat the same rest and break, gel and food thing for every 3 kilometers, or I want to split it to 5 kilometers after 30th kilometer. This is what I said. And ChatGPT even checked up with all the references. Many links were there below this. This is just a screenshot. So it checked with all those things, and it said like, I think your plan is going to work. I think you have consolidated well. Okay, so you can pass this and you can read it. okay, if I'm boring you. So it said everything is kind of okay and good. Maybe you can be little, try to stay hydrated. 750 might be a little less or something. So try to stay hydrated, and this seems like a good workout, and try to do it in zone 2 and zone 3. Don't push yourself too much into zone 4. Maybe in the end, if you want to finish faster, you can push it to zone 4, or something. That's what we have been discussing, or that's what I understood from what it gave from the results. Okay, so was it like that? Was my day, like wherein like I went for like the ride, was that like that? I do not know. I'm just kidding. I definitely know. Well, what happened was like, I'll just pull myself a little bit in so that you can see me a little bigger. Okay, so this is what happened. At 6 a.m., we went to the spot. I actually, my mom and dad was like extremely cooperative, and on Thursday evening, we readied everything. We got our food in place, water in place, and everything. You saw that video, right? My mom helped me load everything in the car, and you also might have seen that we have LTDL Long Stage 4 entire video. Okay, you know what happened. So, but I'll consolidate as soon as possible. So, and we went to the spot by 6 a.m. We started riding. It felt all good. Like I was feeling like I was in heaven. The road was amazing. I was able to push through, but elevation was definitely, taking a toll on me. Like it was definitely, draining my energy very faster, but I managed to push. And my body was already trained to do 12.5 kilometers in a very tough terrain. My normal, ride terrain had a 34 meter of elevation gain and 40 meters of elevation loss. So technically it is 79 meters, but since coming back, give me some loss gains, some downhill ride, so it kind of heals me, gives some recovery in between and all that, right? But here, the recovery is very little. You have to push through all the uphills all the time. There are so many flyovers, and all the flyovers are very steep, more close to 6.7 percentage of steepness. So I always took the side service roads. Okay, and you go down a little bit, or sometimes it's going to be little mellow uphill, and then you have a speed breaker, cross the junction, and then you got to go for uphill. Every time when you want to join back to the highway, it's open road highway, newly constructed highway near Arialur, going towards Tanjavur or something. So that highway, it's pretty busy, but not that to an extent where we go to Chennai, which is the capital of my province, Tamil Nadu. Okay, so it's newly constructed. It was good, and you can use that. But every time I have to join the highway through the service road, it's always a uphill, and the normal highway could be like sometimes flat or mostly mellow uphill, and every time it takes a turn, that part of the road is going to go on the uphill kind of steepness, and that's only to aid the high speed vehicle to turn properly. So every time, being a slow rider, I got to stick to the white line, which is on the left side of the road. I would always go hit the uphill, so it was tough. So 6 a.m. We started, and 6:45 was the 6:50. We hit the service road. I would always say like, okay, we'll take some shade. We could go some extra distance to take a distance. Take a break or have an electrolyte and have some, like food and all that. So first 21.25 kilometers came in 2 hours and 52 minutes, and in between I took only 3 breaks, and in those 3 breaks I had my electrolytes and bread and all that, and I sensed some headwinds. Even before that, I'll give you the stats. I might have to go down a little bit over here. Forgive me. I don't know how long I've been recording, but consider this to be a podcast, an entirely impromptu video. Okay. So for now, you know that I have completed the distance, but I'll give you the entire story. Okay. So 4 hours and 46 minutes of sleep. That's for sure, because like preparing all these things, and like having anxiety, I also made a couple of videos that day, and all those things, performance anxiety and all that, gave me a good rest. But it lasted only for 4 hours and 46 minutes. It's not bad, it's good, but it could have been better. That's what I'm saying, because like my sleep goal is 8 hours. Okay, so then comes the heart rate, resting heart rate for that day. It was 77 bpm. Okay, it's not bad, and I got it lower actually to 61 or 62 or 63. I rested well after that actually. And then my SpO2 was good, 98%. Hope you can make that number. It was blooming when I was taking photograph in the early morning. You can see the time, 3:47, and 33 and mild was my stress. Okay, sleep and stress are very correlated with each other. And heart rate was at 78 bpm. HRV is at 59 milliseconds, which is good. With this app, most of my HRV is at very good state. But with another app which I'm studying right now, MX Labs, which scans your face and gives you blood pressure, your heart rate, and heart rate variability, it consistently stays between like 15 to 25, and it rarely hits 35 and 45. Okay, so I'm following this app. It's called Heart Rate or something. That's it. So this gives me a perfect consistent rate above 40 actually all the time. This is the HRV before I went for the ride. Okay, so and my Me Fitness screenshot showing the resting heart rate as 77 bpm, and all that 3:41 a.m. That is what it is. It's showing that's the reading it took at that particular time. That's the kind of road, cement road, or the pavement we had for riding. You could see like how smooth it is, and it has some kind of contours, talking about some straight line contours. It kind of gives you a hissing sound like a race car when my wheel hovers over the pavement and all that. It is fun, and it was a little bit tiring. That's all right. So that was me, my pop just before the ride, a minute. I was hunting for GPS signal, and this is at the midpoint. Okay, and that's the sunlight at the midpoint, and it's going to be at the back side of my head, not in front. Okay, I was riding towards the east, so sun was slightly hitting my face, and I had some sunmud sunscreen on me. I only had two 750 mLs of water until midpoint, 21 kilometers and 350 meters or so. Okay, the return has to be the same distance, right? To the starting point, it was different. Okay, on my return, sunlight was hitting on my back, but headwinds were like very, very unkind to me. Actually, it was like between 25 to 30 kilometers per hour. That's what my father said. I couldn't check my headwinds back then when I was finishing. That was like stopping me at every single push that I was doing. Every 3 pushes would only lead me to another 5 feet, not more than that. And being 83 wheel, and with 1 or 2 being worn out since last year, since I have been using the wheels, I got to do a lot of cadence, lot of pushes to move forward. And when I thought I would finish the entire thing within 6.5 hours or 6 hours, it took only 2 hours and 52 minutes for first half, or to the midpoint, and it took about 6 hours and 13 minutes and 28 seconds for the second half. And that too, I couldn't finish it in the same point. You can see a very small discrepancy from the starting point where I finished my ride. You see, I got to call it. I called it off only because like Masachi's battery was not at the right place. It had only 1 point, and it might die anytime. We do not know when it will die, and I do not know if it will have the enough juice to save my ride. Okay, normally any ride would be saved before it is turned off, but this ride is a very long ride. The data is very long. I do not know if there will be enough juice in my battery to save this particular ride. It might actually be gone forever, all the effort that we did. Especially I don't want my father's effort to go in vain. Okay, So all my return ride to the starting point was heavily, taxed by the headwinds, and the temperature for that day was average is 38 degrees Celsius. I did not know it felt like 40 or something, and they said like it hit the maximum of 43 degrees Celsius. Yes, it can give temperature. I don't have that screen here, but it can give me 43 degrees Celsius as my temperature. Imagine what will happen to somebody who's riding a board at 43 degrees Celsius, facing the headwinds for 21 kilometers and rest of the distance to complete the marathon. So I become extremely exhausted and exerted as the kilometer came in closer to the marathon distance. Okay, and luckily, since I had only 3 packets of electrolytes and 3 bread packets of food that I had 6 packets left with me, which lasted for next 6 hours. Otherwise, I would have been like collapsed or probably like unconscious by now. I wouldn't have stopped until I finished it. Let me tell you that. And my father was like extremely cooperative, as in like whenever I would want to ask him to park by the side so that I can open the door and sit in the car in the shade for a few minutes, he would do that kindly. So, and he was extremely kind to stop wherever I wanted, mix refill the water or mix electrolytes for me and all that. There are many instances like that, but I would say I did not take much breaks because like I had only 6 packets of food or 7 packets of food. 3 was consumed, right? 7 packets of food and 7 packets of electrolytes, and then I had some electrolyte tablets, like 3 to 4 in between. So those were the breaks I took, probably 10 to 11, each one lasting between 5 to 10 minutes, not more than that. And we pushed it through and finished the last. Like once I hit 40 kilometers, I told myself to reach it as fast as possible, because like just 1 hour before my ride, my Redmi Watch 3 Active got switched off. It wasn't dead, it got switched off. So all these things were happening, and I was so scared that I would lose the data from ZOSG bicycle computer. I ran as fast as possible, hit my maximum heart rate, and I kind of collapsed. Collapsed in the sense like, as in like, okay, I have done the distance 42.85 as you see in the screen. So let's end the ride. I ended the ride, went back to the car and made a video and came back home. Okay, so let me pull my mobile screen now and I'll show my Mi Fitness. Hope it opens my data even without internet. Otherwise, like I might do this video again if need me. I don't think so. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, so we have the screen. Mi Fitness app is showing up, and that's my workout. Good, we got it. So by the fear of battery dying, with 1 point, it's almost in the blinking state, I turned off my ZOSG and everything, and reached my home. I got to charge my ZOSG before I transfer the data to my computer, and that's what you saw in the previous slide, the data of all my ride time, my average speed, maximum speed, the elevation gain, and all that, right? So then where is my mobile again? It's over here. So this is the heart rate data which I got once I reached my home. I happened to charge my watch, thinking that the charge was completely gone and it died and everything, but it didn't. It had 88% of charge. It turned on and it transferred the data. I do not know what happened, why it died, or why it got switched off. Did the sweat got inside too much? I do not know. Yes, there was sweat inside. It was seeping inside the the protective case into the screens and all that. I do not know. Probably if you went through the speaker zone and speaker grill, I do not know what happened. Okay, so it lasted only for 8 hours and 7 minutes, right? So minimum average heart rate was 149. Imagine I was at averages at like zone 3 and I'll show you the that was me at showing you at 21:35 kilometers done at 2 hours and 52 minutes. Okay, so that's my Instagram post QR code. If you want, you can scan it for a few seconds. Okay, so hope that was sufficient. And here comes the my targeted heart rate calculation for that day. Age is 42 and 77 was my resting heart rate, right? So look at that. My one from the mobile, my heart rate is 149 bpm here, and you can see like 149 falls in zone 3. My average was in zone 3, and 173 maximum bpm. Okay, that was like in zone 5. Okay, so if you look at the data here, and light means zone 1, right? My heart rate between 127 to 137. I stayed there for 16 minutes for my entire ride. My intensive, which means zone 2, 137 to 147. I stayed there for 17 minutes, and my aerobic is for 2 hours and 32 seconds, meaning like I was staying between 147 and 157 for 2 hours in the entire 9 hours. And that should have been the most helpful heart rate zone for me if I had, able to stay there. I might have been slower, but I would have completed much faster than what you see on the screen today. But due to the uphills, the sun, scorching sun, and the headwinds, which was very unkind, blowing me straight at my face and my body, 25 to like 30 kilometer per hour, like it was like pushing me to anaerobic capacity. I stayed there for 3 hours and 14 minutes. Normally, if you stay there at that time without taking proper electrolytes and food, you will have the fatigue for sure. For sure. You might have some fatigue somewhere near your necks or your thigh, knee, or your ankles, Achilles tendon. Many things would have been in danger. And then you look at my VO2 max. I still can't believe I stayed there for 2 hours and 18 minutes and 45 seconds. I still can't believe I hit that much of a VO2 max capacity. I never knew before that. Last time when I did my marathon in 6 hours and 30 minutes as my elapsed time, I never thought like I would last that longer. I saw few people who were 2 or 3 people who finished behind me who did about the same distance in 9 hours or so. I never thought like, oh, they are behind me. No, I never felt it that way. But rather, I was shocked to see like how they lasted for 9 hours, because I know I couldn't last more than 5 hours on that day when I did my marathon in 2023. But today, this time, because of proper planning and proper execution with the proper support with fuel, food, and water, fuel as in like electrolytes and food, with my great support of my father, giving me enough room from behind, from other traffic from group coming closer to me, giving a good protection and all that. Look, I was able to last for 9 hours and 13 minutes. I didn't know that I had it in me. So this is not good. Don't take it as an example. You got to stay between zone 2 and zone 3, which is a green and yellow color. And look at the graph. It's much worse. See? It includes all my breaks as well. Okay, so this is pretty hard. So whatever I planned, to stay in zone 1 and zone 2, zone 2 and zone 3, that did not happen. I thought I would be wavering a little bit between zone 3 and zone 4. And I know like I wouldn't know like when I will be wavering between zone 3 and zone 4, but this should not be an example. Okay, so I was extremely pushing myself to the maximum, trying to which made me stay in anaerobic zone 4 for 3 hours and 18 minutes or so, or like whatever that number was, and in zone 5 for more than 2 hours. So it's not a good example. That's a lesson I learned from that time. And after finishing, this is what happened. I was exhausted. I stayed like I lay in my car for quite a long time, and when we reach home, I'll stay there for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll take the things which we loaded inside the car. But the things were totally opposite. Once we reached home, my parents couldn't stay there like that. So they came in and they started moving things from the car, and because like they were moving things from the car to the house, I couldn't stay there for longer. So I came out and started moving things, heavier ones into the house, and then slowly I moved everything into my room. Though they are still there, I couldn't clean and keep it ready. I'm still exhausted and I'm still recovering. So let's finish whatever that images that you see here. You could see that humidity, like humidity was around 73% in the morning, and it was told to be like it would go down to 40% in the 12 noon or something. I didn't check my humidity after that. Okay, so you look at the wind that is blowing. It's coming from like coming to west. Okay, at 25, 26, 27, 26, 26, 25 and all that. So I lasted till 3 o'clock, right? So it was still blowing at 22 kilometer per hour, and it's coming in from west. You can see like W was mentioned over here. So average would be around 24 kilometer per hour. I know this would happen. Okay, but I really don't want to trouble or change the things that is going to happen for that day. So my route was like started and there is a flyover, and we go the flyover, we get down, and we come down here. Okay, so this is east, and that's going to be my right of direction, and this is the midpoint. And when we come back, it's going to be in the west, and I know there will be headwinds. Okay, we did have a very small discussion with my father. We thought like we'll go to the midpoint first. I'll do my first half, facing the west in the early morning, and then in my return, I'll travel towards the east to the midpoint where I started and finished my ride. That never did happen, because like I felt like I thought like I'll manage. Probably 1 hour would be more extra for me to complete the distance, but I thought I would manage. But that never happened. Headwinds was too strong. Never take like headwinds as a joke or like something you can manage unless you can really do it. You have extreme confidence and you can push yourself through such strong winds. Don't ever do that. Always try to avoid headwinds and understand the weather, your geography well, and do it. If I had done it that way, like traveling to the midpoint and taking the headwinds first in the early morning, which was not that strong. You can see like it's 23 and 24 till 9 a.m. or so, like it's 25. It has started there, but it's manageable till 9 a.m. because you are fresh, you have better energy, and sun is not that hot. It's not going to take all your juice away, so you will not be sweating much. So all that thing, if I had done that within that first 3 hours, the last, the time when the sun is high, humidity is low, and wind is too strong, that wind would have been my tailwind, and I could have completed distance in next 3 hours or 3.5 hours, worst case. I definitely feel for that. If possible, probably next time I would want to try that. I can't do the 100 kilometers today. Okay, that was me once I was done with my ride. Okay, thanks to my father, and that is the clip which couldn't play. We don't have the internet right now, but like it's all in good sense. Okay, so that is the last moment that I actually got out of my ride. Okay, so finishing all that thing, and what I want to discuss is my recovery plan. Okay, so you can see all the data in Strava. Okay, the elevation distance to elevation gain and all that. Probably there is a little bit of internet trouble, or the ZOSG data did not translate well for free account. Subscribed account can have a better look and can have a good read about the entire story over there. Okay, so about the recovery plan here. Okay, so I asked the Perplexity AI about what I can do. Okay, so I've been pushing myself in zone 3, zone 4 and zone 5 very harder. I've been tired of facing the headwinds. Temperature was average of 38 and 43 max, and I had only bread and electrolytes as my food for the entire day. And in the night I had some rice and something, and I had sufficient hydration, but it wasn't enough. So what is my recovery plan? Okay, it said like please take rest for 2 to 3 days completely. Okay, and after 3 days engage yourself in very mild activity for 30 to 45 minutes, doing it in easy zones, zone 1 or something. And after fifth day, you start pushing yourself from zone 1 to zone 2. And with the diet, ensure you have a balanced diet rich in protein, healthy fats, and carbohydrates, and have some electrolytes if possible. And stretch yourself inside the home, do some flexibility exercises, roll here and there, stretch all the stretches that you do, and all that. It was very simple suggestion from Perplexity AI. Thanks to Perplexity AI, because I don't have a coach for me to advise for all these things. I couldn't post this on like LDP group to ask for recovery plan. Mostly it'll be fun comments will be addressed. I have experienced that before. Probably have a booze and forget everything and lay down, take rest for 10-15 days. You'll be all right. That would definitely work, but you need to get back to your workouts again. You need to practice, right? That's cool. I'm not saying all the advice would be like that, but it'll be a little bit. So then I went to ChatGPT and I said, like, I want to recover. Okay, so what I wanted to do for recovery, this is my condition. Okay, so I did 43.85 kilometers. That 42.85, it became 43.85 kilometers when I actually corrected my distance on Strava. I do that all the time because like Zoshi sometimes may go do weird things. Whenever I rested, it was circling around at one particular point. So I want to correct it. It corrected, and Strava gave me this distance. And it gave me a different elapsed and moving time, which was different before. It was 6 and 9, and it became 7 and 9 later. Okay, 7 and 6 being moving time. Okay, so then I told all the zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5 stories, and this is my idea. I gained some knowledge from Perplexity. I listened to my body, and I told ChatGPT that I want to rest for 1 week. I don't want to do any other activity. Okay, because I got to do my daily chores. I don't want to disturb my mom. I want her to retire as the same day as my dad. She does have some home everyday work, but it's I have gave her a retirement as it, like I cook my own food and everything. So, and like other than that, I do a little bit of standing and work for doing all the dishes and all that, right? So it will cover on my regular activity. So I thought like I would use this as my recovery thing and doing some stretches and all that in the morning, kind of thing, combined with complete rest on first week. And I also need to edit, make videos and all that, right? So I would combine all those things in the first week. And I need to create a new transition and kind of titles, work, and got to read something and many things like that, so I thought like I'll take a complete rest for a week, and for the second week, like I'll introduce myself in zone 1 and zone 2 activities, and in third week I'll normalize my workouts, getting back to what the same distance as I was doing the previous time. Okay, so what was new here is like I have been approaching the entire problem as in like the races, virtual races and everything, like thanks to Skate IDSA. Otherwise I wouldn't have known all these things. Okay, so in 2022 I couldn't participate because I did not have an account. 2023, thanks to Mr. John Fisher and Seismic Skates and Skate IDSA's thing for providing free account to first time account holders, and because of which I got 1 year subscription. The next year I paid a minimum of $10 fee and got my account. And from my 2022 to 2023's approach to 2023 to 2024 approach, it has become very professional. I've done my race in a very professional way as possible to my knowledge. And then after recovery, I never thought like I will do all these things, nutrients, the workout zone 1 and zone 2 before, but I did applied this. The planning was there before the race. Planning was executed during the race, and after the race I'm still applying that knowledge to recover myself, all these things. I told ChatGPT, and ChatGPT as a coach gave me a good advice. Okay, it said like take rest for first 2 days, have your electrolytes, and prioritize carbohydrates for glycogen replenishments, healthy fats, lean proteins for muscle repair and all that. Okay, and I wouldn't entirely trust this, but I'll take some knowledge of this and apply it. Okay, so active recovery with light stretching and mobility of work, gentle walk or low intensity yoga, no more than 20-30 minutes, all that for third and fourth day. By fifth and seventh day, introduce yourself to zone 1 activity, and that should last only for 20 to 30 minutes, and heart rate should be below 60% of your maximum heart rate and all that. Okay. And for the second week, it asked me for the 8th and 9th day, you introduce easy levels or zone 1 activities, light for 30 to 40 minutes, and which is light activities. And for 10th and 11th day, introduce yourself to zone 2, wherein like you're at 60 to 70% of maximum heart rate, and do all your activities like brisk walking and all that, bicycling if you want, for 40 to 1 hour. And after, like when you're close to 10th day or 12th day, you can introduce yourself to long distance skating and a little bit laster longing high intensity workouts. And by third week, you can get back to all your normal workouts. That's the thing they have suggested, but ChatGPT suggested me, or that's what I understood. Okay, so this LTDL, like Lot Today Longboard or virtual races, it not only encourages everybody to participate, equally, gives an equal opportunity in the passion they follow about long distance skating from all over the world. It also gives a professional approach to their, lively life, actually everyday life. Actually, people can learn about heart rate zones, living a healthy way of life, doing workouts in a very healthy way, like pushing themselves only to when and where, how they want it to be, listening to heart rate zones, understanding about HRV, VO2 max and all that. And it kind of lets you understand your body, listen to your body more, and provide with sufficient nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins and everything in a proper mixture. And start with warm up, and then push yourself to zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, whichever zones that you want to push to, and then cool down, coming back in the descending order of zone 3, zone 2, zone 1 and all that. So my recovery is more like that right now. So I'm completely at rest. It's more like easy or zone 1, and then I'll start introducing a little bit of workout, which would be close to zone 2, and then I'll normalize. So it's been a very eye-opening experience for me. I've been learning a lot. I've been listening to myself, my body. I'm not eating much, blasting into too much of things that I missed before my workouts. I've been eating well even before my workouts, but the quantity have reduced. I want to mention here, on Thursday before the the day of long distance skating, I kind of replicated all the nutrients or the time that I would have for electrolytes and food. So I woke up at the same time that I want to wake up at Friday. I woke up on Thursday even at 4:15 a.m. And then I had a coffee and rested well, cleaned my bowels and everything. And every 45 minutes after 6 o'clock, I would have my food. I had some soaked badam with me. And I had that soaked badam for next 45 minutes, every 45 minutes. And in between we went to supermarket to get some stuff, and for until 12 o'clock or so I did not even go to a bathroom. That's what I wish, but I did visit twice. But I kind of pre-exercised what I wanted to do on the day of marathon, a day before. That was also an experience for me, which I forgot to tell you before. So after that, and with marathon day, I replicated the same thing. On Saturday and Sunday, I gave it to a full go, as in I did not restrict myself with the food. I was having a decent food, normal food, any South Indian meal food, like tiffin in the morning, and rice in the lunch, and in the dinner another tiffin. That's what I've been having. Yes, I was having 3 meals, but not much of a big quantity as I would have it before, even before my warm-up challenge. I was having it lavishly, happily. Though I had varieties of food to taste, I had it in a limit. Okay, So I planned it. If I would have some oily food today, I'll not have that much tomorrow. I'll have a different food that will boost me with like less of a fat and fries and stuff like that. Okay, so I did plan. It kind of gave me a very eye-opening experience, because like I'm not an athlete. I've never been an athlete all my life. So. Um, that's all I can recover and remember right now and share it with you. I shared most of the data with you. You can understand, and all the things that I do is open for everyone to look at it and get their own vision about what I did. POV perspective of your perspective of what my workout was, how bad it was, how good it was, put down in the comments. But like what I would say is like I had a good time learning about all these things and doing it professionally for the very first time. I wouldn't lie on that. Okay, though I did follow a little bit of things before in 2023, but it was not with extreme approximation close to what a medical device would give with heart rate sensors and all that. Okay, so yeah, it was a life-changing experience for me. Probably next year's experience would be much more better, because like I have 1 year to train with heart rate zones even more cautiously, more do so for walking and bicycling. So I'll apply that knowledge in long distance skating, so I can try all these types of weather so that I can last a little longer. As in, like I want to try it in the night, try it in the evening, try it in the midday, afternoon, before noon, and all that. To withstand temperatures. Try riding uphill on a heavy headwind day. Like I want to try all those things in between this. 1 year of until next LTDL. Okay, so thank you so much to my father. He is Mr. N. Srinivasan. So he has been the extreme support for all these things. Without him in every single step of my every single push of my long distance skateboard, this wouldn't have been never possible. Okay, and thanks to my mom, she has been a great moral support. And besides all the negativity that I had in my all the time, since my LTDL 2023 and until even at the time of doing this, I was able to finish this. I'm so happy, because I thank those people who fed in all the negative thoughts into me, because without them, one step of pushing yourself ahead, thinking that I'm going to do it, like even if it is not for me, I'll prove you wrong or something like that. It gets to you. I'm still a human. Who am I? I'm not a spiritual guru. I'm still a human, normal human being. I have all the emotions. So, it kind of gets to you at one point. So you want to say like, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I did. So thank you. Thanks to all the people who fed negativity to me. And I'm so thankful to Skate IDSA for conducting all such wonderful virtual races, because if not for Skate IDSA's recognition last year in 2023, they sent me a finisher's medal, wooden medal, laser etched medal, some few kind stickers or something, a balloon and all that, and small token of love, for finishing all that, and announcing my name in the MVP and stuff like that. Like without all these recognitions, I wouldn't have been called as a long distance skater, or I could declare myself as a long distance skater to the world. People who saw me like I was just wasting time, having no job and everything. People saw in a different way, saying that, oh, he has something to do. So now what I started my YouTube stuff, for krish arts and photography, that is looked down upon, since the long distance skating is getting recognition from the West, So I did not know. There is a very small discrepancy in the starting and ending point. I really do not know how that happened, because like we can only imagine, and we can trust the road and the GPS, right? So theory of relativity stays like your point A to point B is not same as point B to point A. That I do not know what discrepancy that happened here, because every time I wanted to climb the flyover, but it's too steep, so we always took the service road. I did not know if that added extra distance. I did not know. I couldn't be able to reach the starting point. There is a very small discrepancy. Hope Skate IDSA forgives and accepts my entry, because that. I don't know how long that starting point was. Like, probably I did not have any advantage, that much I can tell you. But I have done more than the actual requirement for the LTDL 2024 stage 4. So hope Skate IDSA accepts that, and I would like to thank Skate IDSA for conducting such wonderful races and recognizing people like me, who has nothing but confidence and hope, a lot of hope in them, thinking we would do something one day. And I don't have a professional gear. I made all those gears on my own, and everything acquired from aftermarket stuff of Amazon. I'm so happy that Amazon was a key player in one such activity, because they had all the things that I need to buy. Thank you, Amazon. You guys are awesome. Thanks to Piezo skateboards here without your bushings, and thanks to Decathlon for the bearings. If not these companies coming to India, I wouldn't have had a taste of long distance skating in my life. Thanks to Amazon, especially because they provided the wheels for me. Long distance skating board Uhuru. Those boards are those wheels are electronic skateboard wheels again. So and thanks to every general public that was there, cooperating and watching me move one push at a time for every single kilometer. Thanks to every responsible rider of the motorcycle, bicycle, and most responsible drivers of cars, MUV, SUV, crane, bulldozer, trucks, 6 wheel, 8 wheel, 10 wheel, 12 wheel, 14 wheel, 16 wheel, 20 wheel. I saw everything on that day. I've seen vehicles riding at 100 km/h, more than that, and all that. I've been experiencing all that. My father's car would shake when we have parked on the left side of the road to rest for a few minutes to mix electrolytes and all that. The entire car will shake if a truck passes by us. It was headwinds were blowing so strong, and the this truck was moving so fast. If I was if not for my father's protection, if I was riding alone on the left, that swirl wind would pull me inside the truck, closer to the truck, more closer to the truck, and it would have been very, very fatal. So thanks to my father and parents once again, and I would like to thank all the well wishers here who have been wanting me to do something and complete the distance. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. So thanks to everybody for helping me out doing this LTDL Stage 4 2024. Okay, you guys are awesome, and wish me good luck to come back on 2025 and do something better than this in a much more professional approach. Hope my story was very, very long, though it was boring. Hope it had something for you to take away if you happen to listen to this or watch this. Okay, thank you so much. Sorry I couldn't bring in all the data that I had with ZOSG due to the internet. It's not downside, it happens with anybody, so it's just a short break or hiccup. Anyways, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. This is Alien Kitcha. Peace. Alien K and Mr. K signing off. Bye bye. Vanakkam, Nandri, Namaste. Dhanyavad. I only took part for the marathon distance. I did not take part for the 100 km stage 5 virtual race. Hence, the stage 4 marathon distance was the last virtual race I participated for the entire season. And following is the Skate IDSA's results for my rides and my total score points and my position for each virtual race I took part for each stage that I took part. Okay, and yeah, thank you so much. I'm grateful that I was able to represent India in the scene of long distance skating in the entire world, and I was the only person to be part of India. and I finished at 61st place in the overall category.